Сайн байцгаана уу хүн үзэгчтэй. Өнөөдөр орой манай de facto нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор Нобелийн шагналт Йемений сэтгүүлч Tawakkol Karman оролцож байна.
Tawakkol Karman 1979 онд Йемений Таис хотод төрсэн сэтгүүлч, улс төрч, хүний эрхийн зүтгэлтэн. 2011 оны Йемений хувьсгалын удирдагч нарын нэг. 2011 онд Нобелийн энх тайвны шагналыг хүртсэн анхны араб, хоёр дахь исламын шашинтай эмэгтэй. Мөн хамгийн залуудаа Нобелийн шагнал хүртжээ. 2005 онд гинжвэ эмэгтэй сэтгүүлчид нэртэй төрийн бус байгууллагыг үндэслэсэн. Йемений ерөнхийлөгч Алва Будала Салихын дэглэмийг түлхэн унгах үсэд онцгой хувь нэмэр оруулсан. Нөхөр 3 хүүхэдтэй санаагийн шинжлэх ухааны технологийн их сургуулийг худалдааны мэрэгчлэр төгссөн. Санаагийн их сургуулийг улс төр судлаач мэрэгчлэр дүүргэсэн.
Good evening.
Good evening, dear.
Welcome to my show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. I am so happy to be here in Mongolia and to be with your program.
Thank you, Ms. Karman. Please describe a little bit now the situation in Yemen in terms of the major issues you are always struggling with.
When we talk about the situation on Yemen, we have to talk about the situation in Arab Spring at all, because as you know, we made a great peaceful revolution in all Arab Spring, even with in Libya and Syria, because the people there, they started their demonstration peacefully, but the regimes of Al-Qaddafi and Bashar al-Assad kills people, a lot, and that force people to use, violence, but while they continue their peaceful, methods. So in Yemen, in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Libya, all these 4 countries, we could topple the regime of Ali Saleh and Muammar al-Qaddafi and Ben Mubarak and Ben Ali. And this is the first step of the revolution. This is just the first step. It is in the end. So now all the Arab Spring countries, we are in that second step, which is step down or change the corrupted people inside the regime, in the security and army forces, and also in the civilian institutions.
Do you think is it viable, possible?
Of course, this is revolution. If we will not do that, so the revolution will be half. And if you do half revolution, you will kill yourself, and you will kill the dream of the people who sacrifice. So it must be totally revolution. The revolution came not just to change the heads of the state. It came to change the all corrupted regime. It came as a needed from the people, especially from the youth and women, for dignity and freedom and democracy. So these values will not be able to achieve if we have corruption. So all these countries are now working and struggling for removing corrupted people from all the institutions, and also in parallel we are in the third step, which is building the transitional institutions like presidency, like parliament, like it is just transitional to lead the country inside the transitional period until we reach to the point to change or to transfer the country from the legitimacy of revolution to the legitimacy of
It's a quite task. What made you first time to go and stand against the current situation of women in your country?
It isn't just the current of. It isn't just the situation of women. It is the situation of people, of men and women, of civilians themselves. So there is no rights for all women and men. The only right was just for the people, for the family of the dictator, of the rulers and the people around him. So there wasn't equal citizenship. This is the main reason that we made our revolution and our peaceful peaceful revolution. So this is and also, as I told you, is our dream to have freedom and dignity and democracy. There wasn't freedom and dignity and democracy. There was some decor democracy that that wanted just to make the face of the dictators beautiful, but there wasn't. Because of that, we did we make that this great change for the people, civilian at all, and also for women, because women also was marginalized 2 times, as a civilian and also as a woman.
Literacy rate in Yemen of women is 2 times more than the men. And the average fertility, according to the World Health Organization, fertility on the average, a woman there have 6 children, while Tunisia has 2, Syria has 3. And does it make it very hard for women to fight because to take care of a lot of children? And yet your country is 70% of the population is under 30 years old, almost like Mongolia.
In
it's
Mongolia.
Very similar.
That's good.
Very young country.
Yeah, this is advantage for the country to have the population to be more youth. That means that the future is good. So yes, the situation of women is very, very, very bad, and also there is no education, there is no health, there is no right to have مسكن, there is no houses, food, medicine, everything is something we need in Yemen, for example. But as the need, why did we make this revolution? We make this revolution because the economic was bad, and the security there wasn't exist. Also the political situation there was a lot of conflict. Also, the health situation is bad. So, because all this deterioration in every field, we make the revolution. So now if we talk about the past, you will see something very horrible. If we talk about the future. The future is based now by building a new countries. But new countries, these countries must be based in a strong way, in a good base, with a good basement, with a good institutions, constitutions which will guarantee this العدالة الاجتماعية, social justice. Social justice means right of health, right of education, of second to live, I don't know, sorry for my English, but this is, it's the new constitutions will guarantee many rights.
So you are working on this new constitution.
Yeah, social justice, and you also on another hand the freedom and rights, freedom of expression, freedom of gathering, and etc. And also accountability, and also rule of law, and before all of that, the equal citizenship. So if we gain to a good constitution, the all things, the economic and all things will be good. Yes, there is problem with economy. We have to work in parallel in political with constitutions, and also in solving problems in economy.
What does your organization, Women Journalists Without Chains, what is the main motto, and who are they?
As its name, without chains. It was, it was as kind of refuse to all chains was around us. We established it on 2005. At that time, the press freedom was very low, very low, yeah. And the attacking human rights, the violation against human rights become rise. And you know, especially with the press freedom, you know, the journalist was, you know, followed by the security. They closed a lot of newspapers. They blocked a lot of websites. They established a new court just for the issues of the journalists. And the journalist was kidnapping by, you know, if they write anything against the authority. So because of that, at that time we decided to establish this organization, Women Journalists Without Chains, to defend on press freedom, on not just press freedom, on expression rights. When we talk about expression rights, we talk about two fields of expression rights: press freedom and also the right of movement, the right of people, the right for people to make a demonstration, to make sit-in. And when we raised this slogan, we didn't ask it from the government. We implemented. We went to the street, and we were the first people, or the first organization, or first woman who go to the street, make sit-in every Tuesday in front of the cabinet, and we call the square in front of the cabinet Freedom Square.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's your name. You gave the name.
Yes, yes. And until now, the Freedom Square exists. Yeah, all the people who are now who need justice, who want justice, they go to to this square, raising their issues or cases.
You have a famous sister who is Tawakkol Karman, who was a poet, and also Safa Karman, who works for Al Jazeera.
How do you
How many of you are there? Siblings? How many siblings do you have?
I came from big family. We are 10. I have 3 brothers and 7 sisters. I am the fifth one. Yeah. My family is educated, all of them. You know, I have one she's doctor in a university. 2 of my brothers, they own a company for information technology. And one of them is boys, and one of them she's a doctor in United States. And you say I have an educated family.
You have been receiving several threatening in January 2011.
Yeah.
And you were one of the most outspoken vocal opponent to the President Saleh regime. Was it hard to receive this sort of threat?
It wasn't threat. They kidnapped me from the street. It wasn't a threat.
It's physical. They just take away.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
There's a lot of threats. Until now, they have a lot of threats. You know, and I was arrested many times. But that was in 23 of January. It was the most important day because they kidnapped me in the midnight when I return back to my home, and also putting me in the prison of women, of female, sorry, and yeah, the same, female and woman. And yeah, so it was, and that was, and they accused me that I encourage youth to topple the regime, and I am against the Republic regime, and you know. But at that time, you know, all the Yemen, from every governor, 21 governorate, they go outside and raise my pictures, and they said release Tawakkol, and not just Yemen, and also outside Yemen. So it was, yeah, it was horrible. It was, you know, I was very angry. Why do they kidnap me on that way without, you know, when I told them, give me your ID to know that you are soldier, or you know that you are belong to the security. They didn't give me any ID, any orders to keep me to arrest me. I was very angry, but also I was very happy, because at that time I know that my voice will reach to every
So you were receiving the
house.
support of every Yemen.
That's after that the revolution didn't stop. After that, because before that I was calling people, all Yemeni people, to go to the streets to step down there.
You will keep writing.
Yes, since 2006. I told them that if we want to build a new country, we will not be able to build a new country with that regime. That regime, he's corrupted. He financed the terrorists, and so this is the most important thing that he also fear every time he fear wars inside the country, even between ideology, even between sectors, between everything, between tribes. He feed his existence and authority on making conflict between people, between tribes, between ideology. So if you study the time of Ali Saleh since 1998 until 2011, you will see like 7 wars, and he was behind that. He make the problems, and he just stay. He said, I am the one who will make peace between. He feed all the groups to do that.
And yet he was supported by the oil revenue, which is 1/3 of economy of the country.
Sorry?
Oil revenue, petroleum.
Of course.
He was supported by that money.
Of course, and he's stolen. We don't know, not just the oil. There is a huge corruption in the oil, and there is another wealth that we don't know, and we just discovered now that we have this wealth like gold, and
You didn't know?
Just now after the revolution we discovered that we have gold in Yemen. Since years he sell gold, and nobody.
The president knew the country has a gold. The people don't know, but still he was selling the gold.
Everything he sell everything. He sell everything. He wasn't like dictators. He was like thief. He wasn't. He just like thief. Build the country, yes, and also encourage people to be thieves.
What is now the country?
And now, Alhamdulillah, we could step down him, and this is the first step of the revolution. Yeah. Now we are in the second step, and we succeed in the second step, and that is very, very important thing, especially in Yemen, because we will be able to unify. We unified the army and security forces. In the regime of Ali Saleh, there was like 9 sectors of the army, and every sector is against the other. So now we unified them, and this step is equal step down Ali Saleh. That is very important, And also, army and security forces must be under the control of the president and government, under the control of political sides. So now we achieved this, and we are so proud that we through 2 years of peaceful revolution we achieved these things. Also now we, as I told you, and we announced that we will now focus on fighting corruption on the army security forces, and also with the civilian institutions. This is a very important thing. And also now we have national dialogue. This national dialogue, inside that all Yemeni powers, they are sitting now in one table, preparing themselves to solve the issues in Yemen, like we have issue in south and north, and also to write the new constitution. Who will decide the shape of the country? Will it be federalism or not?
So hopefully it will be done peacefully, because the South and North Yemenis issue, which is based a lot from the unequal distribution of wealth.
Yes,
historically.
Exactly. Yeah, we have problem in South, and also it's reason of Ali Saleh, because in the 1994 he make wars against South, and after that when he went, he and his regime like stolen all the lands of the south. Now we have a really problem in south, but also not because with the revolution, peaceful revolution, we gave them the solution with the on southern issue, like now we have because they were struggling for the to be partner in the authority and wealth. Now the new president is from south.
Yes.
The new prime minister is from south.
Yes.
16 ministers from south. The minister of defense is from south.
The people are
the
happy
responsibility. Yes, but there is another problem, that there is some outside interfere that from countries they feed armed group in south, and to encourage them to separate. But in general, we as peaceful revolution, the youth peaceful youth revolution, we promise people in south, and we are one. We don't say that south or north, that we will solve their problem, and what they want we will accept. So now we encourage them to make dialogue, but there is very important that the outside interfere. Has to stop, because these
outside
people,
from where?
Exactly from Iran. Exactly from Iran, they feed with weapons, But inshallah, everything will be good. I'm optimistic, and now people, day after day, they know that now we are working on creating.
Why Iran would be interested in instability of Yemen?
You have to ask them. But now the situation in Syria is very hard.
That's what is another question. You have been visiting refugee camps, as you said this morning at the sessions, and refugee camps where?
I visited in Atma, and also I visited a lot of refugees in Turkey, many times.
Around Syria, the border areas.
Yes, but inside, I entered to Syria, I visited some camps, some refugees inside it, but especially Atma. The situation there was very, very, very bad. People, they are suffering a lot. They, most of them, they are women, with children, and old men, and handicaps, and all of them, they don't have any possibility to live in simple dignity. There is even the tents. Even the tents is very, is very, cut, and there is no water, there is no food, there is no electricity, there is no medicine, there is no toilets. It's the worst situation that you can imagine there. And in Atma, for example, there is more than 120,000 people in this in one place, and it's something, and very horrible. I make a press release, and I called the international community to do something for them. They didn't do something against Bashar al-Assad, to stop his killing people. Also, they didn't do something to help people, humanitarian people, in Syria. The aid they gave the aid to refugees through Bashar al-Assad regime. How can and the aid doesn't reach to the people. It's something, I hope that now when I'm in Mongolia, and today in my speech I said it's very important, conference, and I congratulate Mongolia for hosting this meeting.
Ms. Karman, you have been definitely one of the jewel of our conference this time, which was very important for us, and we are very delighted to have you in Mongolia, because like 20 years ago we had many people who were really the lights in the dark night, and I see you are one of them in your part of the world, and of course you are recognized for that by Nobel Prize. And what would tell to the Mongolian young people today, please?
I will tell them something. I will tell them that you have to keep on your democracy. Now this is an important recognition from world to have this conference here. That means that world is appreciate the role of not the implementing or the practicing of Mongolia on their way to democracy. Yes, and Mongolia didn't reach to the whole democracy, but it's serious to do democracy. This is very important recognition. So I advise people and also government to keep on that and to make progress on that, because I hope that you have a really press freedom. I really know. I hope today I heard that there is one person he's in jail. I don't know what is the background. Sorry for that. I did it, but if he's politician man, please you have to release him, because this is something against the democracy of the of Mongolia. And another thing, I call the government and also people here to play something with democracy. We need Mongolia. Mongolia, yes, is a small country between big countries, but this country can play a good role in this region. So I encourage you as a government and as a people to play a good role on peace, on building peace, especially in Burma. I think Mongolia will play a good role in Burma. People in Burma are being killed every day. The minority in Burma every day, the Muslims minority being killed every day. So today I told I gave message to the president and to the president of parliament. I told them that I give him the message from Arab region, from Muslims people, from all the people who are fighting and believing on human rights, that we need Mongolia to do a good role on helping minority in Burma. Your neighbor, your brothers, your sisters are being killed there every day. So I think you can do something, and I trust Mongolian as a government and as a people.
Ms. Karman, thank you very much for being our guest, and all the best. I know you need to go back urgently, and but you had still made the time for us, and thank you very much. Have a good flight back.
Thank you for. I feel comfortable because of that. I could speak quite good English.
Thank you.
Thank you.